Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. And today important video that I'm doing in the 7-minute explainer series. The topic that I'm picking up today is the testing strategy. A lot of people have been asking me this question, and I'm quite sure a lot of you, even if you've not asked me this question, you have that in your mind about what should be my ideal testing strategy. Because as you know, tests are perhaps the most important part of your preparation, and they serve a dual purpose, as you can see here. Tests serve a dual purpose of your preparation. They serve the purpose of practice, and they also serve the purpose of feedback. And why taking tests is so important for you is because of the fact that there is a very strong percentile connect. There's a very strong percentile connect in your CAT results, so to say. And the thumb rule, the general thumb rule, in a 3-hour exam, it had settled down to around 52% net score. 52-53% net score would be where you would get your 99 percentile. In a 2-hour exam, 228 marks, the net score at which you got a 99 percentile was around 45%. So if you think about it that way, your 99 percentile, if you're in the net score of 45 to 52%, you should be close to your 99 percentile scores. And of course, the story continues with 100 percentiles, etc. People who are getting 100 percentile are typically scoring around 70 to 75% marks out of the total marks. But a lot of people ask me this variation about the percentile gap. Why is this? Why did the 2-hour paper have a lower percentile to this was the 2-hour exam, and this is the normal 3-hour exam for the 99 percentile. So a lot of people ask me this question, why? And it's an interesting thing to understand. Why did the percentage drop for the 99 percentile? The reason for that is that while they dropped the amount of time by 1/3, they dropped the number of questions only by 25%. So the constraint is not just about how much percentage you can score. The constraint is also like a one-day cricket international that a cricket team plays. The constraint is what is your scoring rate per hour. So if you look at the scoring rate per hour, a score of typically 155 to 160 in CAT in a 3-hour paper of 300 marks is a scoring rate of around 50 to 52 marks per hour. And a 100 mark in a 2-hour paper is still the same scoring rate. So while the percentage dropped, the scoring rate did not drop. You need essentially to be scoring 50 marks per hour on average in the mock test, and hence how close are you to 50 marks per hour has to be one of the key dimensions of your preparation to 50 marks per hour. Are you able to score 50 marks per hour? And people who are able to score around 75 marks per hour would typically end up getting a 100 or 99.95, 97 kind of percentile. Very, very high, maybe a 99.98, 99. At 75 marks per hour is the scoring rate for those people. So in terms of your testing strategy, I have a strong belief that there are only 2 kinds of tests that work, that matter. Baki sab tests are part of your preparation zone, where you are doing your chapter tests or your section, your group of chapter tests, or a special question type test. Suppose you're doing a test on fill in the blanks, or you're doing a test on time, speed, distance in maths. That really does not, it has a practice element of course, but the feedback element is not very strong there, because you anyway know whether you're good at fill in the blanks or time, speed, distance or not. So taking a test there and wasting your time on your test taking time, which is precious, on chapter tests and question type tests is not worth it. So there are only 2 things that matter. 2 types of tests that matter once you hit the test zone. Of course, at Mindworks we also have something called CAT scans, which is a measure of how close you are to perfection in a particular area. That we do along with these. So in our test series we've got 3 structures basically. But bottom line, broadly, you need to be very careful about your section test and the analysis of the section test and the full length test. Don't ignore section test. That's the big message from here. And I typically tell people to do a minimum of 10 section tests per section. And when you're doing a section test, your analysis of the test is also very important, not just for section test, also for mock tests. So what should you analyze both in the section tests? Minimum 10 section tests on quants, 10 section tests on DI, LR, and 10 section tests on verbal, and whether you can and you convert that into a 30 sections or 30 mocks overall minimum. So that is your minimum testing. If you can do more than that, it's good. But 30 tests plus 10 section tests should take care of you reaching your potential and also expanding your potential. So the question arises, how do you analyze? What should you analyze in your mocks and your sections? So first of all, you need to analyze your knowledge on each section. If you have unlimited time, how much are you able to score? So for example, let's say we are talking about a 26 question section test on quants or a 26 question section test on verbal, which means 78 marks, which is the current 2-hour pattern, which is what we are expecting this year. So 78 marks, if you can score 50-55 in 40 minutes, you're typically scoring, I mean, if you talk about a 75 marks per hour or a 50 marks per hour scoring rate, you basically need around 35 marks there in 40 minutes. And if you can score more than that, and one factor also when you talk about scoring rates, DI scoring rate will typically be slightly lower. So in quants as well as verbal, you should endeavor to be at around 1 mark per minute score wise, plus 3-1 के context में scoring pattern में you should be endeavor to be at 1 mark per minute. So if you can score 40, or you can go above 40 and you can score 1.3, 1.4 marks per minute if that section is strong for you, so you would be good. So then you have to first analyze, do you have the knowledge to get there? In quants, if there is no time limit, out of 78 marks, can you score 60, 65? If you can't score 60, 65, then obviously if your knowledge score is 65 out of 78 on the quant section, then in a 40-minute framework with time constraints, etc., you cannot be expected to score more than, my time is up, but I'll just complete my argument. You cannot be expected to score more than 40-45 marks. So if you want to raise your marks to 50, 55, you have to be able to score at least 65 marks in this thing. So what I'm trying to say is that in quants, if your knowledge score is 50, that given unlimited time, you can only solve 17 questions correct there in a 26 question paper, then there's no way you can score more than 30-35 in the full length 40-minute section. So for every test that you take, you need to know, okay, if I don't have any time limits, how much can I score? What is my ability currently? And then once you understand that, I mean, you can have various patterns. So you need to analyze your patterns also in your preparation. So let's say you have a pattern and you do the same thing in DILR, etc., as well as in verbal. So if you have a pattern that your knowledge score is 65 and your actual performance score, which is your 40-minute performance score, is in the range of 35, then this is a poor cashing in on your knowledge. You should be able to convert around 70 to 80% of what you know inside a 40-minute time frame. So this gives me scope that if I improve my speed, I improve my decision making, I improve my stability inside the exam, my mental stability inside the exam, I will be able to score to 45-50. But at the same time, if your knowledge score is 50 and you're scoring 35, that means that you are almost converting 70-75% of what you know, which is a pretty good conversion. So ये अगर दो लोग को 35 आ रहा है section test में in the quant section or the verbal section, and one of them has a knowledge score of 50 and the other has 65, this guy, if he wants to improve his score, has to improve his knowledge score. So his work, the next part of his work will get defined through that. And this guy, if he has to improve his score, the 65-35 guy, he has to improve his conversion. So these things you will come to know. You will also start to get to know which question types your heartbeat starts stabilizing, which question types do your heartbeat go up, which are the question types which you are scared of, etc. And then from there you take the feedback about what work you need to do in your groundwork or in your basic work that you do along with your tests. So your testing, of course, should start maybe with one test in 10-15 days, 2 tests a month to start with, but then you gradually increase it to 1 test per week if you are doing it in a 4-month period, and then you increase it to 2 tests per week after 2-3 weeks. and then you finally go to 3 to 4 tests per week so that you can complete 30 tests, and you keep taking the sectional to understand how you're doing on your sectionals. But make sure that you understand your knowledge and your performance scores in each of these. And of course, goes without saying, part of the analysis is also to know every question that has been asked in your mocks. Whatever mocks you're taking, you need to know what you need to do. And apart from that, during your test series, very important point, last point, make sure that you take CAT 17, 18, 19, 20 as actual mocks in your series. Don't see those papers, don't see those questions during your preparation phase, so that you can take this as mock test. You'll get the practice element there also, and most importantly, you'll get the analysis element. How much are you scoring with your current preparation? So make sure that you spread this across in a 4-month period, as we do in our Arun Sharma CAT challenges. So in case you want to look for a test series, we have got the full length, 30 full length tests, which include 25 ASCC tests and mock ZATs, mock IFTs, 25 a year, not 20. We will be having 25 full length mock CATs. And then you also have the replicats, the 7 papers that I talked about from the actual CAT papers. They're also there, and 10 section tests per the 9 papers, 2 of 17, 2 of 18, 2 of 19, and 3 of 20. We give them as replicats for you to take those tests at various points to understand where you are standing. And then we also have 10 section tests on each section, which help you understand how you're going on a section and then take corrective action. Right? All this is available. You can visit mindworks.in for details, and I'll see you again tomorrow and with more. And do write what you want to hear from me, what questions, etc. I'll come in with 3-minute or 7-minute shots to answer your questions. And do write your questions which you want me to answer in my videos, and do subscribe and do share the videos so that we grow faster and we are more enthused to do these sessions for you.